Hi, so we got the beautiful Eva here with us today.
Hello.
Uh, Eva, how do you pronounce your name, your full name? Eva, is it Fuchsa?
It's Fuchsa, but it's actually my brand's name because my original name is one is German and one is my husband's name. And I decided to create under my nickname from my maiden's name, which is Fuchsa. Yeah.
And what does that mean? Does it mean fox?
It means fox. Yeah.
I thought so. It's very similar to the German word Fuchs.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
So
could you tell us where you're from? Because most people, even in Europe, don't know your country too well. I've been there though. I've been to Bratislava.
good. Yes, so I am born and raised in Slovakia, main capital Bratislava. And most of the people in the world, when you say Czechoslovakia, they do remember, they know Prague, and we are the smaller players from those two countries.
So it's a really, really tiny country, right?
It's a really 5.5 millions and a really small country. So yeah, really small. So maybe, and it's also called, and geographically, it's the center of Europe, like the heart of Europe geographically, not politically, lies in Slovakia.
Really? I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And what is your contribution then to the world as a powerful woman? You have apparently some work you do with Slovakian women from what I see, but I don't understand the language, so I have no idea what you do. So could you tell us what you do?
Yeah, sure. So I'm basically, at the moment, my label is Iconic Coach, and under that Iconic Coach is a transformational coach who works with energy and who works with energy very specifically in two ways. So one thing is working with the personal energy, meaning with the subconscious mind, subconscious programming, shadow work, inner child work. And on the other hand, I work very practically. That means I work a lot on embodiment of the change they want to do, connected to their life purpose, soul purpose. And that's the way I'm trying to bring my soul mission into life. So we create like big impact, and we create the change in the society and in the world. So
So what made you get into this? How did you start working with energy, which to me seems unusual in Slovakia?
Yeah, that's a good question. So my original career and my two degrees are, one is in journalism, so I used to work in media, and the other one is in screenwriting. So all connected to screens and movies and stuff. But and I was actually really successful on this path until 2011, when my first child was born and second child was born. And all in all, in 2019, I was completely lost. And I call it like this. We all know, or most of us know, the term dark side of the soul.
Yeah.
When you lose sense to anything you have done, it doesn't matter how in the eyes of society successful you were. I was ready to do something, but I didn't know what. And I couldn't find a small label. But because the intention was there, I somehow label it coaching. And then I didn't know, because there are so many coaches and so many modalities, right? But because of my previous life and experiences in foreign countries, I had the language skill, and therefore, and the intention was set into the universe. So basically, there it was. And via my other mentor at the time, I found this energetic breakthrough method, basically a coaching certification methodology, which brought me into energy. And that one I finished in 2021. Yes.
So how's it been going so far?
It's amazing. It's amazing, but it's not all the time amazing. It's basically when you decide to play with higher cards, meaning higher, you don't play to the norms of society, what they do define as success, but you define your own success, your own values, and you start living, breathing, and walking according to them. So there's been many ups and downs. Um, but I enjoy it, and I love, guiding these women and changing their lives. And it's such a meaningful and powerful work, which none of the jobs before gave me. That's why I had the urge and the need to look for something else, to look for something more. Like, I wanted to see these tangible results of I have helped someone that the media work didn't really give me, because yeah, you have got the power to be the anchor of the news. You tell what media says, but at the end of the day, what do you create? So it's a journey and I love it. It's a play.
Yeah, I can see that. But I'm curious to know why you seem to focus your attention and your efforts only on your country and not the broader world as such.
That's amazing question. And I had so many um thoughts and moments in my career when I was like, should I go global or should I just stay on this market? With me being and speaking and using Slovak, it gives me both markets, because we Czechs and Slovaks understand each other. So Czechs are 10.5 million, we're 5.5, so it's a scope of over 15 million people. Then from women, I don't know how much that is, but anyways, I had a really moment when I started my Instagram in English, and then I was like, well, most of my clients are Slovak, and now not all of them understand my English, Instagram. And then I was like, shall I go English? Shall I go Slovak? And I remember like putting this poll out there on my Instagram stories. And like it was so funny because it ended up 50 to 50%. Because I already had some English followers from basing it in English, and then the Slovak joined, and I was like, yeah, what's inside of me is gonna reflect outside of there. So it was 50-50. And at the moment, I have got the whole community I'm building here, and nowhere is written I cannot switch to English one day, but I just somehow, because I always thought I'm gonna actually live outside of my country, and I lived outside of my countries, in America, in London, and so I always thought this is the way. And then somehow my life brought me back to Slovakia, and I'm like, really? Really? And so I thought, like, maybe there is a reason why I'm here, and maybe there is a reason. And it confirms, because I have got amazing women, amazing clients, but they tell me I'm just so poor with English. And me knowing the library, knowing the wisdom which you can obtain when you have the language and you have it on certain level, I feel sometimes like a channel, an anchor, and I'm having goosebumps. So it must be that. Thank you for bringing this into my awareness, because I haven't answered this question before on this profound level. So somehow I'm based here, and sometimes I do, but I can coach in English. There's no worries, but I just promote myself in Slovak so far. So that's about it.
So that's a great answer, Eva. And besides Slovakia, do you also work in Slovenia? Isn't that very similar in culture, or it's not?
It's a lot
No, you're not
different.
too friendly, are you, the two
No, no,
countries?
no. There is no issues. There is no cultural issues. But Slovenia was part of Balkan, so that's the former Yugoslavia. So that's Serbia, Croatia, and these countries. And they're smaller than us. There are 3.5 million Slovenians, and their language is much more close to German language, and even the culture. They were the first one who adopted Euro in 2003. So
Um,
we did much later. So actually, Slovenia and Slovakia got confused so often, even on the
I know,
optics.
yeah. I've
Very
been to Slovenia much more than Slovakia,
okay.
but
Yeah.
that's
So
because it's on the road to Croatia, which I like going to
yeah. So
when I
no,
see the journey.
unfortunately, we don't understand each other like we do with Czechs.
Okay.
Then the language is much closer to Polish. It's Slavic language, so it's Slavic based.
So with all this work, you must have had some amazing stories. Can you give me one or two interesting stories, keeping them anonymous, of course, to protect your clients as you will. But
Yeah.
some, that would inspire people who are
Mm-hmm.
who may be watching this to come and contact you.
Yeah. So maybe like sometimes we think we need to have all this knowledge and all the skills from the books, and we, at the end of the day, none of that matter, because the only thing that matter is our inner passion. And what happened to me, the greatest story is my breakthrough, how I got into this certification. Because, okay, one thing is you have got an intention that the universe will open up, it's going to show you the way. So we did via my mentor, from whom I have bought a smaller program. And that smaller program gave me an overall scope how to work in the quantum already. And it was really like the basic 4 steps model, like how to create a reality on your own. And I knew from the very beginning, the way to do that, like the way to operate in the quantum, is to listen to your intuition. And what happened when the gates for the certification, because there was a waiting list and it was hugely promoted, and I was like, yes, this is it. Like you're dying to get in. And then they unraveled the prices, and I was like, uh-oh. And then your inner victim shows up because you're like, I know what I want and it's here. I can't get in. And then your inner critic comes up and it says, like, well, you're old enough, you're bright enough, you're skilled enough. Why don't you have those money? But at the end of the day, I was there. So I played victim for 2, 3 days. And then I thought, okay, what's the way to operate in the field of limitless possibilities? So I asked my intuition. And what's the most comfortable thing to do when you don't have money, but you really see what it's for? And your heart is calling, like it's almost screaming, which your heart cannot do, but it, it did at the point. And it was like, ask these 3 persons. And I was like, no, I'm going to bank. No, ask these 3 people. How uncomfortable are you in your 40s to dial up those people and say, hello, can you just borrow me thousands of euros? Well, I did. And the second person, none of them refused me. It was the first person was a little tight because it was Corona time, yeah.
Yeah.
So many businesses stopped, yeah. I actually left my job not knowing where I'm going, my little corporate job, which I had for like 9 months. And I was like, I need these thousands. And the second person told me, okay, and what do you need it for? And I go like, because I want to build this legacy. And is it going to help you? Oh, yes, because via that, I will be able how to coach other women, and the women will be the ripple effect, blah, blah, blah. And the person goes like, okay, I'm going to give you that money. And I go like, what? No, I don't want to give me the money. I'm going to give it to you back within 3 months. And the person goes, no, it's my money and I can do whatever I want. It's yours.
Wow. It's a clear sign the universe is aligned with you.
It was like I tell this classical story of mine already, yeah. But like it's like when you are aligned to your purpose and you take that uncomfortable align action, it's like inevitable, and you will get that or better. It's like got a little better than alone.
Wonderful. That's fantastic. And we met quite recently.
Yeah.
You've just started exploring what I do. Um, can you tell me or tell the people listening what about the work I do in relation to how you receive it has helped you in
Mm-hmm.
your work?
So I went to one of your meditation, your creator's meditation. Plus I joined your WhatsApp group, so I'm following a little bit and would really, and then we went on one Zoom call with another person you co-work with. And what hooked me in was your passion for the work you do, for Kundalini energy, for divine feminine. And like the biggest experience for me was the creator's meditation itself, of course, because like when you come to someone who is completely new in your field, you can have these expectations, and then sometimes we know with energy, it piles up, so it doesn't have to work straightforward. But what happened to me in your creator's activation was like this incredible Kundalini energy rising from the very bottom and activating me via my whole body. And it was just really, really beautiful experience. And I just enjoy, it's also a theme that you're a man, yeah? And I'm so used to only work with, females, because I don't know why, but that's just the way it was until now. And you are the first man who actually gave me this experience of feeling my Kundalini energy in my body. So that's also pretty exciting, isn't it? For the very first time. So, yeah.
And I guess you felt safe and protected as well, right? It wasn't uncomfortable for you.
It was absolutely, because your ego don't let you. Your ego don't let you. It's about your self-trust at the end of the day. So I have been working on my self-trust so many years. So I can see the fruit, because if my intuition tells me not to go there, I will just say no. But no, it was perfectly like it was safe. Yeah.
So, Eva, who's your perfect customer? Who's your ideal customer?
My ideal customer is a woman who has been told she's too much. She's too much. Too much
Wonderful.
things, too much of that. And then she's trying to fit in, and she's trying to be the good girl, and she's maybe even already that good girl saying, I'm not enough. And she's like exercising between these two polarities. But she's the one who tamed her flame, but she feels she's on the verge, she's on the edge, and she feels she cannot hold onto this anymore. And even though circumstances aren't showing that, she is ready.
Wonderful. Thank you, Eva. Thank you for your time. And for those watching, if you want to and I suggest you contact Eva and have a chat with her. Her contact details are below this video.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.